Welcome back to another video, guys. Mike here, and today we will be discussing TC3 tips and tricks for beginners and slash like a tutorial on how to play the game. We're running a solo free-for-all match that I already uploaded. Not sure which episode this one is, but pretty much I'll have that running in the background. Then I'll be going over multiple things about the game. As I would say, I'm a rank 107, I believe. I don't even know, 107, 10. I'm around there, and I'm not a god. I don't know why a lot of people think I say I'm a god. I'm really not a god at this game. I really just, I guess, above average. So I do have a lot of tips to tell you guys for beginners, and maybe if you're like a pro, I guess maybe you'll learn something here and there. But pretty much, guys, everything that I do mention, I'll probably do like an in-depth video on it, so you aren't clueless on like some things that I say, like nuking and all that stuff. Like if you have no clue how to do that, I'll create tutorials for that and all that stuff. So be sure you guys turn on post notifications, join the Discord in the description down below, subscribe, drop a like, and comment down below any questions you guys have about the game and any video ideas you guys want me to do. With that being said, let's get on with this video. First things first, let's just say whenever I say you guys, I'm referring to like beginners, as in like you just started playing the game, you got no clue what to do, you see all this stuff and you're confused. Usually what happens in TC3 is a fresh player has no clue what to do, they rage quit from the game, never join it back, and TC3 loses a player because it's kind of complex like at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's easy. So tip number one, you want to have like an amazing start. If you want to win matches, you can't be slow off the start. First thing I do is I teleport the base right away before the map even loads in, and if I'm on free for all, for example, I rush middle. If you're on Conquest, you're playing a 3-on-3. If you don't know the map, try to look at the radar. Usually in the middle of the map there's gonna be a mega crystal. For those who don't know what a mega crystal is, just think of it as your economy. It doubles your economy income and it'll come in handy a lot. But before you even rush that middle, make sure while you're actually rushing the middle, you plant at your base first of all. And you can do that by planting a power plant or a nuclear plant. It depends what map it is, depends on your team. If you think it's gonna be a long game and there's a mega crystal already at your base, go for nuclear plant, but usually you'd go out with a power plant. I usually go nuclear plant because I'm confident that I won't get taken out early. If it's competitive matches, you'd have to go with power plant, but obviously this is for beginners, so just most of the time I really don't think that you'll need to place a power plant at your mega crystals, because for me nuclear plant works out very well whenever I play TC3 because it benefits me in the longer run. Or if you want, you could replace your power plant later on in the game with a nuclear plant, whatever works for you, but that's probably the best thing to do. But I personally just use nuclear plant, so you don't need to copy me exactly on that, but you guys can decide what you want to do. I could do a whole video on this economy thing, on what to do to like boost up your economy, oil rigs, power plant, all that stuff, so I'll have a separate video on that. But like I was trying to get to, having a good start, get your economy up right away, go for mega crystals if you can. And this boat's being really annoying, and I'm pretty sure it's because of the skin. Next tip is you guys should always be teaming. Try not to go solo unless you already know the game. Diplomacy is where you go to team. You just press on the color that you want to team with, and then it'll send like a request to that person, and hopefully they will accept it. I see a lot of people just like don't know how to team, and they're clueless on that. So there's a tip for you guys. In case you don't know, you just go to diplomacy, press on a color, and we'll say not allied or allied, and then you can choose from there. Another big tip that will really help you beginners out is try not to buy like a tank factory right when you spawn in, or something like very expensive. It'll drain your economy so much, and you could use that money to build your economy and have a stable income, because if you buy a tank factory, that's like $250. You're $50 only, and you have to wait like 10 minutes for another $10 to get a power plant, and that's gonna screw up your whole economy. You might as well just use that money to buy power plants, maybe get a docks, get yourself some oil rigs, nuclear plants, all that stuff, guys, at the start, because that's the number one thing you guys should focus on: economy. Don't go for anything else, unless you're trying to go for a quick takedown. You go with the barracks, but make sure you just at least get that one nuclear plant down or 2 power plants down before you try going for a quick takedown on someone. Another tip with winning games, guys, is taking advantage of your research buildings and researching your capacity of certain troops. A lot of you guys don't even know this as a thing, except for some of you, but like most of you guys, like most beginners, don't know about this. But if you buy a research center, you could actually buy a soldier house, tank house, plane house, and a naval house to increase the capacity. And what I mean by capacity is, if you see the top left, it shows 10 troops only. You could put that to 11, 13, 12, 14, Well, I mean, I should say out in order, but you could go up to 14, and it just helps you increase your amount of units used, and that can make a huge difference, especially with planes, guys, especially with space fighters, because maybe it's like 8 space fighters versus 6. You already know the outcome of that. So be sure you guys are researching. I did a video on how to make research centers and how to research all that stuff. I'll have links to everything in the description down below. I'll have a little section where I post all my video links. So just scroll down there and you'll see it. Another thing is, if you don't know how to make the docs, I also put that in the description down below, so you guys go check that out. Communication is very vital in this, guys, because it can make a big difference if you're with a teammate and they actually are talking to you, or you're in a call. That'll make a big difference because you both will know a good strategy. You could talk it out, talk some strats, and you won't buy the same thing, because I see a lot of people buy the same thing, as in like there's like 4 barracks on a team. Don't ask how that happens. I've seen it happen so many times. 2 space links, like there's no need for that. You're wasting money. On with another tip is take advantage of the the various troops you have to use. Don't just use heavy soldiers, don't just use light soldiers. There's so many more options. There's anti-air troops or anti-air soldiers, snipers, juggernauts. Like, you don't need to stick with just heavy soldiers, because that's probably what you're doing. You're losing a lot of matches like that. Use stuff like stealth bombers if that really helps you. Some space fighters. Don't always use planes. It really depends. I used to be a plane guy, then I switched to space fighters, then I moved back to planes, but now I'm with space fighters. I gotta find, like, maybe Broken Bones could add another plane. Like, I honestly think space is kind of too OP right now, but I myself used to be a airplane guy. And if you guys just seen this gameplay just now, you'll see that this guy placed a power plant down as he's attacking. He does this because it'll make me not be able to place any buildings like forts, headquarters, command centers, anything that could shoot back at his units, and that's pretty smart. But what's not smart is him leaving. Little spoiler here, I do win this free-for-all. I do have a kind of hiccup right here where I just screw up the middle, but that's okay, I come back hard. Now this next tip, guys, is a very, very big one, and this determines if you're going to win the match or not. Do not just go straight out for their base. Like, that's the last thing you want to worry about, their base. This sounds as stupid as it sounds, and pros probably already know what I'm going to say, but like, don't go for their base, you want to go for their economy. If you go for their economy, the only thing they have left is their base, if that makes sense, and they'll have no money to do anything with it. Like, let's just say you have a tank factory, a space link, an airport, whatever you could dream of. You have all of that, but you have no cash, you have no income, so what are you going to make? Nothing. So if you go for the airport first, they're still going to have cash, and they're going to probably move to another base or like area and make a base. But if you take out their source of income, they can't make no army, and they have all that they have, and they can't do nothing about that unless they go to plant. So you want to prevent people from planting. That's when you go down, that's when you start taking out their economy if you're looking to attack. Usually that tells you, usually if a person goes for your economy, that means you're next in line for, it's either you're getting too strong or you're next in line to getting destroyed. This is more of a teammate, like a team kind of tip. You should always have one guy countering anything that the other person does or the other team does, and you should have some attackers. Try not to all go defense or all go offense. A nice thing is always have someone countering what they're doing, so it screws them up and they'll have to like panic or something, or it'll force them to do something stupid, and you can take advantage of their mistakes. Another vital tip is learning how to micro. And what I mean by microing is, let's just take space fighters for example. You have a group of them and they're taking on an anti-air turret. Don't just send the same guy that's getting hurt into the battle. Pull him out of the battle and let the other guys take damage, if that makes sense. I'll have a video on that soon, so be sure you guys turn on notifications like I said before, because I'll teach you guys how to do microing, and that can make a big difference. Now with some defensive tips, try to guard up your mega crystals and your economy. Don't let people take down your economy. Your economy is like if you lose that, you lose the game. There's no way you're coming back. It's always economy. That's how people come back, because they build up their economy. And in like clutch situations, if you took out their economy and all that's left is their big army, you gotta like make sure you take that army out. And like, if you take that army out, just imagine it as you winning the game. Because usually what I do in games is I take out their economy. I don't focus on their army. I leave their army for last, because I know my economy is stable. So if I lose my army taking out their army, I have a second army. They don't. They have a damaged army, and they're gonna have to try to survive the second wave, if that makes sense. So try to just take out their economy and focus on economy. This game is literally, it should be named the economy 3. Like, literally, this is literally what the game is. It sounds like I'm repeating so many things, but it just has to come across your head, guys. People don't listen, and like you just gotta do what you gotta do, which is take out their economy. Once you do that, you win the game. That's how you guys see me winning so many games, calling me a god and like I'm really not. It's simple, guys. It's just a lot of people don't know how to play the game. And once you do get the hang of it, the more people that get better at this game, the more fun it's gonna be. Like, it's so boring going against, like, I'm not trying to be mean, right? Like, going against people who just don't know how to play because they're like they're clueless on what to do. There's no fun in doing that. So just get strategic and like do some cool strategies if you are pros, and figure out some new meta stuff, all that stuff. That's pretty much it with this video, guys. It's quite a long one for tips. Like I said, I will go in depth and do strategy videos. That's if you guys want me to do that. If you don't, just let me know in the comments down below. That's pretty much it. Be sure you guys just listen to those tips. I'll just sum it up right here. Focus on your economy. Have a good start. Don't just use heavy soldiers and light soldiers. Mix up your army a bit. Research buildings, and make sure you have a good team, I guess. Well, it doesn't have to be a good team, but at least make sure you're allied in diplomacy. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure you guys drop a like, subscribe, and join the Discord in the description down below. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.